You're watching KOIN TV, Channel 6. Live from the heart of Portland, the news station for Oregon and Southwest Washington. This is Newsroom 6.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Hendricks.
And I'm Shirley Hancock. FBI agents today are interviewing family and friends of missing Oregon teenager Corey Fay.
The 2-week-long search for the 17-year-old Sherwood boy is over today. Urged by Corey's family to go home and resume their lives, 75 volunteers abandoned the search east of Mount Hood. Only Joe Fay, Corey's dad, plans to stay in the area and look for clues to his son's baffling disappearance. Corey's mother, Kim, said Sunday she would return home to their 2 younger children. Wasco County Detective Bill Lennox told us today that the FBI is helping interview members of Corey's hunting party and members of his family in hopes of coming up with some information. The FBI is offering use of its clerical services and a crime lab. A gym bag found in Corey's Nissan 4x4 did not turn up any evidence of foul play. Bullet fragments found in a tree trunk near where the site where Corey was last seen are awaiting evaluation right now. Authorities say they are stymied by his disappearance.
A memorial service is scheduled tonight in Florida for Kimberly Burgalis, who died yesterday of AIDS. As Juan Vasquez reports this afternoon, she lived only 23 years, but she sure made them count.
Thousands of Americans have died of AIDS since the epidemic began in the 1980s, but experts say that in the annals of American medicine, the death of Kimberly Burgalis may well be the most significant.
She's an accidental heroine because she was the first patient, a healthcare worker that was documented.
Burgalis was infected with the AIDS virus by her dentist, Dr. David Acker, whose practice involved hundreds of patients to whom he never disclosed his fatal and contagious disease.
Kimberly never had the opportunity to walk out of that office. She sort of has the right.
Burgalis devoted the last year of her life to a crusade for mandatory testing of healthcare workers. Too sick to sit in an airplane, she even endured a 19-hour train ride to Washington so she could testify in Congress for her cause.
Please enact legislation so that no other patient or health care provider will have to go through the hell that I have.
But voluntary testing and disclosure is still the rule.
If a healthcare provider is infected, they should either cease performing invasive procedures or inform their patients of their HIV positive status.
It is patently clear that voluntarism has failed in the past and it's failing now. Why? Because of the Florida paradigm, the Florida example, where Dr. Acker didn't reveal his status to his patients and Kimberly got AIDS and died from it.
Barbara Webb, a 65-year-old grandmother who also got AIDS from Dr. Acker's practice, says she promised Burgalis to continue the fight for mandatory testing.
What she'd started is not going to be stopped. And her death won't mean the end of it.
Juan Vasquez, CBS News, Miami.
Fire investigators are searching for evidence in a tragic house fire near Seattle, which took the lives of 2 children and seriously burned their father. When fire trucks rolled up to the house in Linwood, Washington, the structure was fully engulfed in flames. The fire apparently broke out about 2 in the morning. A family of 5 lived upstairs. The parents and 1 child escaped, and the father went back to look for the other 2 children who did not survive. A family of 4 lived on the ground floor. Several people suffered burns and were treated for smoke inhalation. Fire investigators believe the blaze may have started near a Christmas tree. There was no smoke alarm. A fire that swept through a 3-story apartment building in Chicago early today killed at least 10 people, 5 of them children. 2 others are said to be in extremely critical condition. The blaze broke out on the building's 2nd floor, then traveled to the top floor where all of the victims were. Police say there were 12 people living in one of the apartments. There's no word on a cause yet, but a resident says the building had electrical problems.
William Kennedy Smith says he wants to take the witness stand in his own defense, but so far there's been no word on whether he'll be called back. New York prosecutor Stephen Barry was at the Kennedy estate in Palm Beach the night of the alleged rape. The prosecutor wanted to know why Barry didn't act as soon as he heard news reports about the allegations against Smith.
Mr. Barry, you didn't think it was important enough to contact the police right away and give them this information?
I thought it was a very important situation. I didn't think it was my role or it was my duty to call the Palm Beach police.
Barry says Smith did not indicate anything unusual had happened that night.
In southwest Portland, Desi is back home just in time for the holidays. And you remember Desi. He is the Cape clawless otter who escaped from the Washington Park Zoo around Halloween.
And as you also remember, zookeepers found him a few days later, but he didn't arrive home until this morning.
Lisa Balick is at the zoo right now. And Lisa, what was the holdup?
Well, Mark, speaking of being holed up, you won't see Desi out here right now because he's holed up in his den after a very hectic morning of excitement. We'll show you some pictures of him in just a moment. But they had to put him in quarantine for about 30 days to make sure he didn't pick up any strange diseases while he was out on the lam. But other than an upset stomach, he passed inspection with flying colors. So this morning, zookeepers managed to put Desi back into his home from his isolation cage. The 4-year-old immediately headed for the pool for a dip. He ignored the food set out for him. He's one of only 5 Cape clawless otters in North American zoos, but his keepers are thrilled he's back for other reasons.
You work with an animal full-time, every day, and there's a rapport that develops, and I've been working with him real steady ever since he's been here. So I really like him a lot, and it's good to have him back.
Desi managed to escape by squeezing through the wire in the cage around his exhibit. The wire has been reinforced while he was gone. Zookeepers say they were very lucky to find him because he traveled about 3 miles from the zoo. He was found in the Barnes Road area. They recovered him by placing some fish in a trap. So Desi's back at home and doing just fine, as you can see.
That is good news. Thank you. Lisa Balick reporting on the return of Desi. Think of the insulation he must have to swim on a day like today.
Oh, we have Cape clawless otter weather going on right out there right now, don't we, Heidi?
Yes, we do. Around the Portland area, some light rain. Now, down in the valley, actually some sunshine breaking through. We can see the rain amounts from the last 6 hours. Most of the rain's been to the north. In fact, rain amounts have been heaviest up there around the Seattle area. Here's a look at the map, and we'll show you where those rain amounts are located. Showing you about 2/10 of an inch of rain around Seattle, close to 2/10 of an inch in Olympia. Here in Portland, we picked up just about a trace, and that's about the heaviest amount in the Willamette Valley. Take a look, light rain at times this afternoon. It's going to be sort of sprinkles out there. Tonight, some light rain around, and we are going to see a drying trend. I'll have details on that drying trend and tell you when it's coming our way. All that a little later on in the newscast.
Oh, we can hardly wait. Thanks, Heidi.
Coming up, there is chaos in the Soviet Union. In fact, it's questionable whether we can even call it the Soviet Union.
And Terry Anderson gets back to the everyday joys of life. We'll be right back after this, the joy of this commercial break.
We bake pearls made of denture material in this blueberry pie to prove how powerfully Efferdent, America's leading denture cleanser, removes this tough stain, even in between. Efferdent, stronger than stains.
It starts with itch and irritation, and then hemorrhoid flare-up. For soothing, cooling relief on contact, get Tux medicated pads. Tux pads, the one hospitals trust most.
Day or night, you know there's no place like it. You gotta see the Galleria now. We're the talk of the town. You can dine while you find that special gift, a look that's new. It's the Galleria, just for you. Pure milk, fresh milk, smooth and white, creamy, cool, and true. Fresh milk,
Sweet and right,
blended by Dana.
Introducing a creamy blended yogurt as only Dannon can do it. Fat-free, no artificial anything, just pure Dannon. New Dannon blended yogurt.
Mikhail Gorbachev is criticizing the new Russian Commonwealth, calling for a meeting to determine the Soviet Union's final fate. Meanwhile, Russia's president is assuring the White House that Soviet nuclear weapons will not be a threat as the Soviet Union dissolves.
A new Commonwealth formed this weekend out of the ashes of the once mighty Union. The leaders of the 3 big Slavic republics agreed to join into what they're calling a Commonwealth of independent states. Now, instead of the strong central authority based in the Kremlin, the new loosely defined Commonwealth will be headquartered in Minsk, the capital of Belarus. Leaders of the new entity are inviting all the republics of the former Soviet Union to join. To reassure the West, they've proclaimed they'll maintain a centralized command over nuclear weapons and the armed forces. Russian leaders say Gorbachev may be offered a leadership position in the new alliance.
An Amoco Corporation plant in Wood River, Illinois faces a $10 million lawsuit for placing a hidden camera in the women's shower room. Amoco officials say they were trying to catch a man who had been sneaking into the shower room, and the company claims it never taped any of the female employees in the showers. U.S. West has announced a restructuring that includes cuts of 6,000 workers in the region in its communications unit. Stock prices are reacting to speculation that the Federal Reserve may soon cut interest rates again. Well, they'd been up for most of the morning. Now they are down more than 6 points at 28.80. Volume moderate, 144 million shares exchanging hands. Gold prices moved up nearly $3 per ounce in trading in Zurich.
The last American hostages are trying to shake off the psychological chains of captivity and readjust to freedom. Bill McLaughlin has this progress report.
Terry Anderson was out jogging again this morning and talking about last night's visit to the town of Wiesbaden.
I wanted a pizza, by golly, and I got a good pizza. It tasted great. Glass of good German beer.
But the former hostage also admitted that getting used to freedom wasn't easy.
I thought I was really prepared for this, and I thought I'd be cool and calm and collected and a big brave man, and it hit me a lot harder than I expected.
Anderson also said he hopes to fly home tomorrow. Another former hostage, Alan Steen, faced adjustment problems. He left a Detroit hospital yesterday after treatment for a seizure. Steen was brought to the hospital after he suffered a sudden blackout and partial seizure. Steen suffered permanent brain damage when his Lebanese kidnappers slammed his head against a wall. He may have to take medication for the rest of his life to control the attacks. It's thought that all the hostages bear mental or physical scars that will be with them for the rest of their lives. Bill McLaughlin, CBS News, London.
Well, coming up, Imelda Marcos goes to court again, and 7 artists receive awards at the Kennedy Center.
And First Lady Barbara Bush shows us a sneak peek of the Christmas decorations at the White House. They're not like my house. We'll be right back.
Pacific Linen has huge selection, top quality, and fantastic prices. And now, during the holiday white sale, we're featuring the Beauty Rest Cotton Fitted Mattress Pad. Top quality at a super hot price. Only $16.99 for the twin size. Take home a first quality fashion print comforter set, complete with comforter, bed skirt, and shams. The twinner full set is just $39.99. Nobody sells comforter sets for less. The holiday white sale, now at Pacific Linen.
Presenting a way to make life a lot simpler. The Clapper. Turn on a lamp. Turn on the music. Turn off the TV. Use it anywhere you need a helping hand. Simple. Plug it in and insert the plug from just about anything.
Simple.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the Clapper.
Give it a big hand.
The Clapper is available at Fred Meyer, Payless, Kmart, and J.J. Newberry.
Most kids think medicine has to taste bad, but Dimetap Elixir tastes great, and it's recommended most by pediatricians.
I like Dimetap.
Dimetap and Dimetap DM works as good as it tastes.
Chapstick. From the freezing wind to the scorching sun, Chapstick Lip Balm is serious medicine, made to help chapped lips heal fast and healthy lips stay healthy. Whatever the weather, don't take chances, take Chapstick.
Freedent's the one. Only one gum passes the test when you've got dental work, and that's Freedent. Freedent won't stick to your dental work, so you can be confident chewing it. And because it also moistens your mouth and freshens your breath, Freedent's in a class by itself.
Freedent's the one that took the stick out of gum, and Freedent moistens your mouth. Yeah, moistens your mouth, and freshens your breath while you chew.
Non-stick Freedent moistens your mouth and freshens your breath.
Housing for the handicapped is in short supply, and what is available is often unaffordable. This morning, work began on a vacant house in northeast Portland. Once completed, it will include both interior and exterior features to make it accessible for the physically disabled. The work is being done through the HOST program, Home Ownership a Street at a Time. Emmanuel Hospital is providing a $25,000 interest-free line of credit to refurbish the house. The structure will eventually be sold to a disabled person.
Affordable housing is a problem for everyone, but with 75% of people with disabilities unemployed, it's an especially acute a problem for them. And although the Street of Dreams the last 2 years has made a commitment by designing 2 accessible houses, there's very little that's accessible about a $450,000 house for a person with a disability.
The students working on the project are from Portland Community College. They hope to have the house ready sometime in April.
Former Philippines First Lady Imelda Marcos